Hardware season is in full effect, and there is no slowing down. Ohio State won some gold pants last Saturday, dominant fashion up in the Big House. They are playing for more jewelry on Saturday, a Big Ten trophy against Indiana. And if we're in between games, it must be time for a Talkin' Tuesday on the Beat. That is television's Adam King of 10 TV. I am Austin Ward, and we were on the moon a few weeks ago, but now we're on Mars.
We're on Mars. It's all red behind us. It's a side quest of a background here, just for 1 week.
It's fine.
We're
going to spruce it up.
There's snow this morning in Columbus, so the studio, they're trying to keep everybody safe. So.
And they should.
Yeah, that's right.
They should have offered a warning for the storm that was coming to the Big House on Saturday. Michigan apparently was unaware.
They did not know. I have many thoughts. First of all, I would just like to say what you've created in this podcast is hilarious. The amount of people at the Big House yelling television's Adam King, had me in tears by the end of the whole. I mean, just everywhere. Nobody knows that my name is just Adam King. Like my sweet mother needs to change it on the birth.
She called you that on Thursday on Thanksgiving?
That's right. My sweet mother wrote that on the birth certificate, apparently. All right. If you saw the notebook.
I'm not sorry, by the way.
I was a little giddy on the notebook.
You were.
And I'll tell you this. I'm still pretty giddy. I'm still pretty giddy. What a performance by the Buckeyes. The one thing that I keep saying, removing everything, is if that game was the Texas game, or if that game was, I don't know, pick the number 15 team in the Vanderbilt game, where people, I think they're around 15. That was the best performance by Ohio State all season. Like, we're so wrapped up in the rivalry element of it all, as we should be. Mm-hmm. But, looking back, goodness gracious, the Buckeyes dominated.
Beat a good football team on the road.
Beat a good football team on the road. On to next week.
I think that was one of the things that I thought was most notable to me, leaving the Big House. Chatted to you. You were giddy, still giddy. I think you've come down maybe one notch.
That's right. I was ready to hug any person that would walk past me.
But, talking to Sonny Styles, talking to Caden Curry, these leaders for Ohio State, they were so quickly on to talking about Indiana and going to win a Big Ten championship, something else that they hadn't done. I thought that maybe there would be a longer, more raucous celebration.
Spike in the football a little bit?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, or flag planting or whatever, anything that suited what Ohio State wanted to do. But they are so focused on each mission. And it's like, okay, well, here you go. You got your next one. And they immediately turned the page to that. And that's really impressive. We talked about that last week where Ryan Day was trying to maintain the routine, then keep the routine. They approached it like every other game, and it worked. This week is a little bit different. There, you get more responsibilities in these conference championship games. Ryan Day had already talked on Sunday, so this Talkin' Tuesday is not his first press conference of the week. He's going to have an extra press conference on Wednesday for National Signing Day because the calendar is bonkers and makes no sense. He will have a lightning round on Wednesday night. So there are a lot of opportunities, Adam.
And I have a lot of questions.
For you to ask your questions.
And I'm going to start with the most in-depth question, and this is really what I think I'm going to ask Ryan, because I already got to, I asked Ryan on Sunday in the preview of Talkin' Tuesday. I said, it felt like it was a given back in 2020 and 2019 and 2018 that Ohio State went to Indy and they won the national title. And I said, does not being there in 5 years make this feel more special, knowing, all right, it's about time we appreciate that silver football in that game over in Indy. He said, as I expected, it's not a given. Might be given to you. Which, do you agree? I mean, the fan base, I feel like, took it for granted.
I mean, you can't say just the fan base. I think that part of what happened when the rivalry shifted and went the other way was that there was a complacency within the program. I remember vividly, Bo Bishop asked me on one of the Monday reaction shows at some point. He said, people are looking forward. This was around 2020. Ohio State, how many Big Ten championships are they going to win in this decade? And I was like, probably over half of them.
Yeah.
Well, we're into 2025 and they haven't won one since the 2020 game. Yeah. And at that time, it was reasonable to think that this was just going to happen forever. They had dominated the Wolverines to that point. That, once you lost control of the rivalry, that the Big Ten went hand in hand with that. You had to be able to beat Michigan at that time. It's not exactly the same scenario every year during the 4-game losing streak. But those stakes were all tied up in gold pants on Saturday. Ohio State had to win that game to get to Indianapolis. So it was not a given. It's not a foregone conclusion that just once you get there, you're going to win, because this is number 1 versus number 2. Indiana has absolutely earned the right to be there. This isn't the old East versus West, where if you won the East, Northwestern, Wisconsin, whatever, tip your hat to them. There were teams that got there that didn't belong on the same field as Ohio State. Indiana does.
Last week I went around and I was very vocal that I thought Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith would both play, and that we needed to stop talking about it.
Was this you? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Well, no. What I wanted to say is, if you do listen to this podcast, 60% of the time we're right every time. And so, with that, this week my megaphone is going to be that this game matters. I don't care where College Game Day is. I don't care what everybody on social media says. This is 1 versus 2 for a Big Ten championship. And nobody's talking about this, but I liken it to the Tiger Slam. Ohio State has a chance to do something on Saturday that they have never done in program history. Understand that it isn't how the college football landscape shaped up, but they will hold the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the national title, a win over Michigan, and a Big Ten championship all in a calendar year. That's insane. That's the perfect year. And maybe the Heisman Trophy. That's insane. That is the greatest year in Ohio State history.
Yeah.
This game matters. They both will get a bye. I get that. So go out there and play for the fact that you want that stinking championship again. When we used to go to Indy for the Big Ten Media Day, we took a break. We went to see the Bellagio fountains last year. We would go to Indy. They had these banners up there.
Yeah.
And there were 3 straight Michigan banners. That's ridiculous. That's insane. Go get the Buckeye banner. And you can say it doesn't matter. You can say it's a throwaway game. Oh, you don't want to get guys hurt. You don't want... Baloney. This is the Big Ten championship.
I guarantee you that Ohio State doesn't want to see an Indiana banner up there.
I guarantee it. And so my sidebar question that was kind of asked on Sunday was like, do you guys still feel the importance of this game? Because people want this game gone. And I get the grand scheme of the playoff and everything. But Ryan Day and the Buckeyes have to understand that winning a Big Ten championship, as Ryan said on Sunday, is not a given anymore. And it is a massive reward.
It is. And I think I could make a case either way for the value of the conference championships going away. No. Don't come back, please.
All right.
I must do this show. I said I could make one either way. I'm not trying to argue with you. I think in this world of the expanded playoff era and how difficult national championships are gonna be to win year after year, compete for, because winning 3 or 4 games in a row against elite competition is hard. Winning a Big Ten championship should matter. That's something that you can control. I'm not saying it's any less difficult or any less meaningful, but the path to get there is a lot more clearly defined. And if you've already accomplished what you have in this regular season, you should celebrate an opportunity to win your conference championship. That's the one thing that you can now have bragging rights over 17 other teams. Mm-hmm. And I think we can all remember when it used to be more clear-cut and defined that you could do that with 9 teams or even less in some other conferences back in the day. But this is that era. There is value to it. They're going to give you a ring. They're going to give you a trophy. This team likes to play for rings and trophies. They have a pretty impressive jewelry collection already, but
and pants
and some gold pants, which they didn't have an impressive collection of that yet. They just added to it on Saturday.
They're just starting a new one.
That's right. So my point is this. I can understand we're going to see later on Tuesday night when the selection committee puts out the new rankings. Ohio State's going to be number 1. Indiana's going to be number 2. It's going to be clear that neither one will be penalized enough to drop out of the top 4. Yes, they're going to have a bye. So you could look at that and make an argument that the result doesn't matter. But I know it matters to Indiana because they're trying to do something that they've never done in the championship game era and overall haven't done since 1967. And
we hadn't even landed on the moon at that point.
No. Or Mars.
We're still working to get there.
I think that's a long drought for Indiana. But their program perspective and their standards are a little bit different. Ohio State's drought feels like it's gone back since 1967.
That's a good way to put it.
Both teams, I think,
well said,
want to compete for that championship. They want to win it. And on the outside, we can talk about, it'll be okay. Either side, you get to the playoff. That's what truly matters. Go compete for a national championship. All that matters is what's happening inside those practice facilities. And I know for certain, but we can ask Ryan Day if he's getting that vibe, how much his team actually wants to win on Saturday night. Because they already made that, I think, pretty clear up in the Big House that they were shifting their focus to the Hoosiers at that point.
I also think, and there is something, and this might be a sidebar question inside the Woody, but this is the last game for Ohio State to win to chase that perfect season with the national title. Because obviously, in order to have a perfect season, you've got to win the national championship. But they have a chance to do something that is so monumental, it's almost insane to comprehend. And if you win on Saturday, then you know that if you raise that ultimate trophy, it'll be the most undisputed trophy in the history of college football. And that's a crazy concept.
Right.
You will have won 16 games. You will have been the champion of everything. You will have gone on the greatest run in college football history. And while you could still twice, and while you can still say that if you win the national title, you could say it in a different way when you're standing on that stage. And you can look out at every other team in the country that played you and say, we beat you. Now, that's a long way away, but you can't do that if you don't win Saturday.
And you also close off any of the door for, comparative scores, like this opponent be that opponent.
Yeah.
They could, and someone down there in the bottom of the country be like, yep, if you can trace all that way, we beat Ohio State. If you're unbeaten, sorry, that doesn't exist.
Nobody, you are the greatest champion.
King of the castle.
You are the king of the castle.
Lord of the realm.
Lord of the realm. Any other ones you got? The King of the North. With all that, that's also Game
king
of
of
Thrones.
everything.
That's Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, those are the Starks.
Yeah, and
Winter.
but the realm, that's
The North remembers.
The North remembers. Winter is coming. Winter is here.
Actually, winter is here.
Sidebar
Beautiful
question.
drive back from Ann Arbor on Saturday, by the way.
It's white knuckling. With the third down, I'm going to say it was 3rd and 5.
Okay.
This is just a sidebar question I want to ask Ryan.
What's with all the sidebars today?
This is like a very intricate question.
Okay.
But I actually want to ask this.
Okay.
There was a holding
does
call.
Does he need a lie detector? Or
He does, no. I just don't know the answer to this. There was a 2nd and 5 holding call on Michigan.
2nd and 6, I believe.
2nd and 6.
Set up 3rd and 6.
So it would have set up a 2nd and 16. They declined the penalty. And everybody around was like, whoa, what a decision. So first of all, Ryan Day, you're a genius. Great decision to decline the penalty.
It worked.
It worked out unbelievably. I want to know what goes into that decision. Is that a Ryan call? Is that just straight up, I trust my defense, one less down, I have no doubt they'll get off the field?
Yeah.
Is that a communication in the headset as long as it's working and not unplugged? Is that, you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that. Got to make sure.
Did you do that?
I did not. I didn't trip over any cords. It's not to say, it's weird that it happened a few times.
Oh.
And also,
Coincidence?
that it happened in the past.
Huh.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, at least Ohio State knew to prepare for that.
That's right. With their signs. If you go back to your signs. But then, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
You got to worry about that. It's a line from Friends, I believe. Once a cheater. I can't say the rest of that because I don't want to be held accountable. But go watch the show Friends. You might see the end of it.
What a tease.
What a tease. And Friends, I'd like a little kickback on the revenue there when people watch that episode.
Okay.
Long story short, what goes into that decision? What allows Ryan Day, what was going on in his mind? Because that could play out here in the next 4 weeks or 4 games. And that was massive in the moment. Because if Michigan gets a first down there and they drive down the field, there's no world where we're not asking that question post-game.
Yeah, why didn't you take the 10 yards? And that's, I think it's a crazy amount of faith and confidence in Matt Patricia, in James Laurinaitis, Larry Johnson, Matt Guerreri, Tim Walton, Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs, Caden Curry, Kenyatta.
Are you going to name all of the guys?
All of them. There is so much, because if you have any trepidation, if there's one spot that you think is concerned, like 3rd and 6, like, do you think, I don't know, Jermaine Matthews can make that stop? Yeah, think so. Dave Snigmanosin, is he going to be in? Yeah. Okay. Caleb Downs, Jalen McLean. Yep. If you don't have full, total confidence that 3rd and 6 is a situation that favors your defense, then you obviously move a team back. I don't remember ever seeing any opponent or any team I've covered be like, you know what? We're good here. We don't need 2nd and 16.
It's wild.
Maybe it's happened. I'm getting old. I don't remember because that's what made it such an exception. And what an exceptional decision it was, because I don't remember seeing it.
I remember Urban Meyer did it in the game that Ohio State came back from against Penn State, where they were the number 2 team in the country.
Okay.
And it worked for Urban in that situation too.
So I have seen it
that's
before.
That's one time. And the only reason I remember it is because I remember going, what in the world? And I actually, now that I'm saying it, I don't remember if it backfired or not. Okay. I think Penn State might have gotten the first down on that one.
Okay.
But you're right. But that's such an insane statement. to say, I trust my defense to not give up 6 yards in one play than 16 in 2 plays.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't trust him not to give up 16 in 2, but he was probably like, hey, I'd rather have the ball back quicker.
Just get it back over.
Yeah, that's what it felt
We're
like.
trying to beat the snow here.
Yeah, we're trying to get home. Didn't work out as
Did not work out quite that well. I wonder if that set them back. And because I talked about the other responsibilities that Ohio State has to have. They have players were available on Monday afternoon. Ryan Day was available on Sunday. It's like they have stuff every single day. And this team has talked so much about keeping that routine the same. They didn't get back. I beat Ohio State home to Columbus on Saturday night, which that's never happened for a road game. It certainly shouldn't have happened as bad as the roads were on the way back from Ann Arbor. But, how much have they had to tweak anything at all because of that to make up for it or to get back on their schedule? That might seem like a small, minor detail, but all those things I know add up for Ryan Day because he just talked about them last week.
I do wonder if it gave him almost an additional help because you've got everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not interesting enough for you?
You have a limited window.
I do not have. I have all the time in the world. Austin has somewhere to be in the next 7 minutes. Let's put it all on you.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep you on your routine, okay?
My routine's my routine, okay? I don't want to get stuck on a tarmac in whatever that place, Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Yeah. Well, we're on Mars, okay?
We are on Mars. They don't have planes yet. All of that said, I do wonder if they got a jump start. I mean, first of all, if I'm going to be stuck, because the buses, I don't know if you know this, the buses didn't leave for like an hour and 45 minutes after everybody left.
I should have just kept the notebook
You
rolling.
should have, it was crazy. I knew about the snow, so, we do post-game interviews with the guys, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's great. Get on there. Let's go. They want to get. And then everybody's on the bus. And then it sat there for like an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is awful.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be stuck on a bus, there's a good chance better to be stuck on a bus after beating your biggest rival and celebrating that than any other time. So I wonder if they did get a jump start on Indiana, or they're very good at using their time in that respect.
They tend to. They all have their iPads.
Yeah.
You can get a little film going, a little scroll.
So lie detector Ryan Day.
Ooh.
He said on the Sunday thing that he does not know who the number 3 and number 4 team in the country are. He said he had no idea. He said he asked, this is verbatim, I asked Ross about the scenarios with the buys, which, Ryan, you're going to get a buy.
Correct.
I wish I could ask him right now, who is his team focused in on? There's got to be 3 teams or 4 teams that they've got circled that they could play in the Rose Bowl. And I would love to know what that process looks like, because it's crazy to think, what is it now? It's December 1st. 1 month from today, the Rose Bowl will be played. Mm-hmm. What does that look like to get? They've never had to go through this where they didn't have an opponent.
Yeah.
And how much do you think you learned from that? This is kind of jumping ahead, but I think that's where we are. We know they're going to get a bye. How much did you learn from the teams that lost with the bye last year about how to handle this? Getting ready. I mean, I don't think you need to rest for Indiana. You've got 3 weeks of rest.
Yeah, you do. No, I know exactly the answer that you'll continue to get to that, which is that they're playing Indiana and trying to win the Big Ten championship.
That's why I said lie detector.
But I actually think that that's true, because the selection committee is not going to put out the new rankings until Tuesday night. We have an idea of who could be in the 8-9 game, but if they don't win on Saturday in Lucas Oil Stadium, they won't go to the Rose Bowl. Yep. The winner of this game is the one that goes to the Rose Bowl. They're the ones that get the number 1 seed. That's all to play for. When you said that this game matters on Saturday, and if that's true, they can't be worried about what's going to happen at the end of the month. That's a full month from now. You got to have your laser light focus on the Hoosiers, my friend. You can't be worried about 8-9 game and who could be sliding into that, or who's number 3 or number 4. You're losing your own focus, my man.
I'm so sorry.
You told me.
The routine was the routine, and I got out of the routine.
So I think it's a really good question for next Tuesday. How do you use this time? Because you will also be scouting 2 opponents in that if you get to that point. But none of this matters if you don't keep. If you don't make the routine plays routinely this week.
You can't ask him this week, but they do know that they are not going to play at home. And just to be clear, and this is a sidebar that we can debate about for 30.
Sidebar to the sidebar.
We have so many sidebars. So all the sidebars. Welcome to Tuesday sidebar.
Are we in an octagon?
Yes.
How many sides are there?
I just want to say, that's my new at the end of the day. It's no longer at the end of the day, it's sidebar. If 3 years from now, the committee is not reseeding these games after the first round. I'm going to drive to Arlington, Texas. Is that where they sit and they hang their hats? Grapevine, Texas. Yeah. And say, what are we doing? Because if you look at the layout of the landscape of the playoffs, the loser of the Big Ten championship game might get a better path to the national championship. You know how stupid that is?
That happened literally last year.
We've done this twice.
When Penn State wound up with a better draw. Now, James Franklin was obviously not good enough to complete that path, but Oregon wins the Big Ten championship and winds up having to play Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Don't think that was really correct.
Are you telling me that Ohio State was better than Boise State?
Yes, and by straight seeding, Ohio State was number 6. But they had to slide down to 8 because of the shenanigans of the way they built that bracket.
Yes, but it's still going to have shenanigans this year.
Of course,
because
it's college football.
It's college football. And also the committee is so wrapped up in 1 loss, 2 loss, this one, who played this and that. Ohio State's going to end up, Notre Dame is a very good football team, and they could play them in the Rose Bowl, and they might be the number 5 team in the country.
Or they might miss the playoff entirely.
This is insane. Figure it out. Get in a room in Grapevine and figure it out. That's
okay. Is there anything else that's on your mind? Or?
No, I'm just so happy about Saturday.
You seemed really happy just now.
It was very beautiful. Did you guys enjoy that? That was great. And also kudos to Ryan Day for being classy. I do wonder if they're going to plant their flag at midfield of the Big Ten championship game. Just right on that Big Ten logo.
But remember the weird coconut husks on that field? I don't know if you'd be able to get a flag into that on the turf there.
That's right.
That ruined a pair of my shoes. I haven't been back since that media day.
Are you telling me I shouldn't wear nice shoes?
I would not, no.
Okay.
It's filthy.
But
I think much safer. So that's, if you're thinking about
injuries and Carnell.
Re-injury, Carnell, Jeremiah, I think this is a pretty safe field. Plus, it's indoors. So if you have any muscle issues, should be fine.
Me personally?
Yeah, you.
You think I'll be okay with my muscle issues?
I'm only worried about you, Jeremiah Smith, and Carnell Tate. That's
good answer.
So I just want you to be okay.
Last thing. A lot of people, if you saw, there was a video of the Buckeyes trying to plant a flag. I believe it was Will Kazmarek that somehow, I don't know where he got an Ohio flag, the state of Ohio flag.
Yeah.
And I don't think, there was no flagpoles anywhere, so there was no planting. So I just like to envision, and you can as well. It on the just going to lay just for a nice little picture, just right there.
Yeah.
So do that again.
Great work by the Wolverines. That was their best defense all day.
100%. Brutus spent more time in the end zone than they did.
He did. Were you down there with him? Was you that was some?
I was actually. The crazy part is you can see me in some of those videos. And I was so locked in on watching the team and how they were going through stuff. And all these videos, I'm well, I didn't even see him doing it right there.
Because I was watching Brutus make the script Ohio, then cross out the M. And I don't know who the guy was who just came off the sideline. It looked like he's washing it out, but he didn't look like he worked for Michigan.
He was just a fan.
It's you needed to get him out of there.
Yeah, I'll take care of it next time.
All right. So we will be in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center.
Tuesday, Wednesday, probably Thursday, maybe Friday.
And we're Berman and I are also going to have a bonus episode of The Beat on Friday from Lucas Oil Stadium. So we'll have 2. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk to Television's Adam King.
I'll be there.
I don't know. So we'll see if we can.
We've never done a 3-person episode.
Well, would you like to?
I don't know if Berm would like that.
You seem pretty non-committal, but maybe we'll try. I know it's fine with me.
Is it fine with Berm?
Berm can answer that for himself, but
I saw. It
sounds like Adam King would like to join us on that bonus episode. We'll see. There's a long way to go. We're going to hear from Ryan Day on Tuesday afternoon. We're going to hear from him again on Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, night. And some more Buckeyes as they get ready to take on Indiana in a game that absolutely, unequivocally matters for the Big Ten championship trophy. He is Adam King. He's on television and he works for 10 TV.
Some people call me television's Adam King.
I am Austin Ward. This has been a Talkin' Tuesday. We'll be back later with some snap judgments, so hang with us as always on 97.1 The Fan's YouTube channel, 10 TV's YouTube channel, 10 TV Plus, and anywhere you get podcasts. He's Adam, I'm Austin. Thanks for joining us.